Well, he
You're
wanted
doing
to
fine, we
donate
haven't
it.
started.
We're
Well,
not,
okay, then I'm
we're
good.
not
And we had
Oh,
just
yeah,
the perfect stop.
sure that that clock is
No,
actually
Sue is
right
not
anyway.
coming over.
Oh, 401, there you go.
Then I guess I'll call meeting to order at 4:01. Worth,
Here.
Black,
Here.
Dalkey,
Here.
Kitten,
Here.
Savoy. And Joe is here, and Surek is excused, I guess. We have a guest.
Could I get the spelling of your name, please, so I have it right for the minutes?
Sure, Shaun and Gates.
Thank you.
Any additions or deletions to the agenda?
I wondered if we knew any more about our book.
I haven't heard a thing.
No, and I was just reading that, and it said our author's copy we should be getting those 2 or 3 weeks before the book is out.
And that's
Yeah.
November
So-
4th, is what, 2 weeks from today.
Oh, yeah, and then, to think about getting signed copies, we hesitated to put that in because we thought if we get 400 books in, you're gonna want,
$350.
are you wanna sign all those? Or if you pre-register
We don't
or
have
sign
one-
up ahead of time, you could get it, cause.
No, that's all we're saying, is
The
if
one
you,
to sign up.
if you pre-order, you
Okay.
would get an autographed copy, not that we would autograph all
Well, that's-
350.
You could
Okay.
get a stamp.
I think we should have, a time when we get together at the library.
Yes,
Yeah.
we'll have a signing here.
Yep.
But, there was a book signing I went to in Wild Rose for, one of Jerry F's 2 most recent books, and he had signed them in advance. Then he could talk to people and not,
Mhm.
yeah,
Yeah.
so I thought that went, and it went faster, because some people didn't wanna talk, they just wanted to pick up their book and be on their way.
That's a good idea.
A gal, wanted to pay today because she's gonna be gone for the winter, or she's gonna be gone by the 4th. So she wanted us to mail it for her, so we took her money and we labeled it, and so.
Oh,
we've
is that
got-
Harriet?
Yes,
Yeah.
one paid in advance.
She was
so,
concerned about that.
Yeah, so, anyway,
Hold
we
on.
got that one, that's what I thought, and we left notes in there, and so, gave her a receipt, so for her to be covered.
All right. Everybody get a chance to look over the minutes from last month's meeting?
I know we approved the minutes from the last meeting.
I'll put a second on that.
All right. Motion been made and seconded to approve the minutes from last month. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
Sorry, I need to go back there just a second. It doesn't
Okay.
need to be changed, but just a clarification. On the very bottom, number 5, the worker is repairing the train engine. We don't have anybody repairing the train engine right now.
Oh,
It was way more than what he thought he could do. And we've gone to a packet to the train people up there, and they looked at it, and right now we're in limbo. So if you know anybody that likes to work with metals, that likes to
so at
do
the
somewhat
time,
fine work,
it's
at the
accurate as
time,
far as
yes.
the.
It's just that we've been sort of gone backwards since then.
Okay.
And I will change the spelling of our guest's name. There's a typo there as well.
I was glad to see the amount of money from the book sale.
Yes,
Yeah, that was
isn't that unbelievable?
Nothing is unbelievable. You
Well, we
ladies
thought
do
we
a
had so
good-
many books left.
I know, we had.
But you ladies do such a good job.
We
So,
do, that's good.
Sorry that Sana isn't able to.
Yes, me too. She did say she'd stay in touch or whatever, so I'm hoping it doesn't get just
I'm-
forgotten and,
Are we hearing anything from Sue on that?
No, yeah, she was supposed to be coming on the 4th, and then she had a speaking engagement on the 5th, so she said it's not gonna work, and so I said, well, how about some other time? She said, well, I told the library that I wouldn't be able to make it. okay, but I have a feeling that probably during the winter probably isn't a good time, with the
For
weather.
travel.
You never know what the weather's gonna be like now. Cause I had said that originally when I talked to her, I said, it'd be nice if you came now before the weather turns, because then it's kinda iffy, so we may have to wait till spring and I'll have to bug her again or something.
Because it does say, I'll stay in touch though.
Right,
So
yeah.
she didn't flat out say no or
Right.
anything, but sometimes they have a tendency
I'm
to
not holding my
kind of
breath, but.
forget about them, yeah.
I'm sorry, but I will hold my breath because that's one I don't wanna lose. I think we should stand up at that one.
Yeah. I will, I'll wait though, I think I'll wait till spring, or till after the winter.
Her aunt will help us on that one
Yeah.
also, because she does want her to come here, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is a little off this, but I went to the Chambers meeting, and, there was a presentation about, community, and we were having this,
We gotta go to the treasurer's report first.
okay, so we'll save it for later.
Yeah. Sorry.
No, that's
I
okay.
thought we better get that done first.
Yeah, that's fine.
I move we accept the treasurer's report.
Second.
Motion has been made and seconded to accept the treasurer's report as printed. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
Christie, do you have an extra agenda somewhere for our guests?
No, I don't, but I can make one.
Okay.
Well,
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay.
we follow pretty much the same one every time.
Kelly, Kathy, and Carly are very busy.
Yes, and very excited about the program that's gonna be tomorrow, and the Fremont's bringing a bus over. And so they came in, for a couple hours last week and did a dry run through what order are we gonna do this in, and kinda did a little last minute prep. So, I guess they're ready to go, so we'll see tomorrow. I think the bus is coming at like 9,
Okay.
and, so, I think they're figuring out our program, I think, is what they're
What will it cover?
I think they're doing fractured fairy tales, but I know that's one of the topics, and I think that's the one that they're giving tomorrow, because they prepared several different ones, and the different ones were for different age groups. And
Uh-huh.
this is, I think, grade 1 coming, and I think that was the fractured, or I guess fractured fairy tales. I
Fun
mean,
with fairy tales?
Does
Says
it
in
say
here,
here?
we will
Says
do a
fun
fun
with
with fairy
fairy
tales.
Oh, okay, there we go.
And what
they're
about
talking about
the
variations.
food-related or healthy eating program?
Yeah,
Is there gonna be such a thing?
Yes, and that's related to that food basket upstairs, that, they were supposed to sign up and it would be, a drawing, but we thought, gosh, what if only 2 or 3 people come, so we thought maybe we'd put it up there for 1 week, and so, she said she was gonna put it out Friday, and then, let it go till Friday, and then draw it right away Friday morning, so it'd be, Friday to Thursday, 1 full week.
And then do they present the program too, or do we?
No, I think, Kelly's presenting the program, but they have the giveaway and, some literature they sent, in the display thing, so. I think she did the basic program though, but they just provided some,
Uh-huh.
and 3 books to give away, so there'll be books to give away, and then the basket for drawing. And evidently there's a large display board up there, so
I
she
see,
must have
it's a
set that up.
regular story hour time.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Do you know if St. Peter's is sending a first grade class over? You're doing
No.
that fun with fairy tales? Did you get
Um,
confirmation on that?
No, only Fremont. It seems like, and I could be wrong, because, they're doing all the contacts with Kelly and Kathy, but, I don't think they thought that they were real interested in it, maybe.
Okay.
So then they talked to Kathy Jorgensen and thought that if anything, she would carry it back to the principal and the administrator and talk to them about it. So I don't know if there will be, oh yeah, here, Coach Kelly. Okay. And Kathy still brings her, or Katie brings her class monthly, for checkout, and she's got a big class this year, I think it's like 22, 24 kids. And she brings them in, not all of them check out because they don't all have cards or whatever, but, you know, maybe 10 to 12. Well, I guess that's down to.
You want your report, I guess?
Okay.
Circuit's really up.
Yeah, that was really nice. Well, I'm happy about that, because there were a couple months earlier in the year that we were down, so, well, I think we'll come up ahead again this year. A lot of libraries are seeing the downswing though in Circ, and I think it may be because of the ebooks and that type of thing, I'm not sure. But we're still a little bit on the upswing, so.
So you've got Logan Feltz working for you now, hmm?
Yeah, he did a couple things this summer, and then he helped with the Pinkalicious. And now, at the last staffing we were talking about, wanted to get something going more for boys, because the other one was Pinkalicious. And so, you know, we talked about different topics, and then Carly just came in the other day and she said that she thinks, I think it was it, hold on. It was something that she was gonna have Logan make swords out of balloons,
Oh,
you know, for each of the kids. So what was it now? Swords, but it was dragons, no,
pirates?
it was pirates, it was pirates, I think that was it. Anyway, you know, and she had a whole barrage of ideas, you know, just
That
for
Pinkalicious
yes,
was
yes.
incredible what she did.
Yes.
I know, and we got a lot of really neat comments. Yeah, it was
Oh,
pirates, because
I'm
she
glad
said.
it was well attended.
Yes.
46,
me too. Yeah. Yeah. So we hope, because she was talking about like an eye patch to make one for the pilots, and, oh, she had all other kinds of ideas.
A
too.
treasure
I don't know what
chest,
she-
probably.
Yes, and some kind of a treasure chest thing. Oh, I don't know, but she has such neat ideas.
And there were pictures from the Pinkalicious party, I think weren't they put on the website?
Yeah, they were.
So, but she had balloons and magic wands, and she had a game where you had to pass a cupcake, and when the music stopped, if you were holding the cupcake, then you were out, and then,
What you had to eat?
just
Yeah, well, everyone did get
stories and
Right.
music, and
Yeah.
everybody was supposed to wear pink, right?
Decorations, yep, and crafts.
What age group came for that?
Through early elementary, I'm
Okay.
not sure how old the oldest would have been, but preschool through
Okay.
maybe, third grade, maybe, I'm not sure, fourth grade. We kind of put it out there for elementary, you know, depending on, you know, how cool you wanna be, or, you know, I mean, if you've got a younger sibling, you can come if you're a
Right.
little older. So there were one or two boys there, I guess,
Oh,
so.
Just a
okay.
clarification, please, on my report to the city council, that 545 sessions on the internet computer, is that 545 people using it? Just in case they ask me that question, or,
No, where each person is allowed 2 sessions.
okay,
So they may take both theirs or they may not. A lot of
Okay.
people just go on and do something quick, 15, 20 minutes, they're done. You know, the kids play on their full 2 sessions with games and stuff, so it really varies.
How long is the session again?
It's half-hour sessions.
Okay.
so would 300 plus be a fair number then?
Yeah, probably. And then we've got the number of minutes, but you can't
Yes.
tell how many people from that
I-
either.
Just, I expect someone will ask me, what
At
does
some
that
point in
exactly
time.
mean? So-
Yeah, but they're half-hour
Okay.
things and you're allowed 2, so, you know, so. That really varies, there's probably
Okay.
about half and half or whatever. yeah, that little Excel, you know, I've been thinking about doing that for a long time, but it just had never, you know, I'm not real good at Excel, and I thought I just been putting it off, and Carly said, Vulcan would maybe do that.
How old is he?
I think he's a freshman this year. So,
That's great, that you're
Mhm.
able to utilize the services.
yeah.
And he's willing to do it.
Yeah, and he came to the Pink Luscious party too, didn't he? Not only made the flowers or whatever for him, but he came and helped decorate and put stuff around and
Good.
facilitate the, you know, whether the games or whatever. And the battery, I don't know if you checked
I
it
did,
later
and,
on or no?
It's going to be done sometime soon, but we just got a guy back from the service and he's getting his feet under him, and so they're a little bit backed up right now, but yes, it's going to be addressed.
And the Circ desk computer, I think we'll do that this year. We've been having some trouble with the computer freezing up. It'll only be for like 5 minutes, but it's just too long to wait, to stand there with somebody waiting, you know. So, anyway, I emailed today and they're gonna try doing some stuff tomorrow. You know, from Owls and how they kind of take charge of the computer here, and they're gonna do some stuff, to try to clean it out. Okay, and that's what it said 2.5%, but I used 3 because I heard later that, it was gonna be 3 instead of 2.5 for the last one there.
And the phone company came through?
Yes,
Looks like it, huh?
finally. But you know, I think we're supposed to get more. I think that takes care of the first 3 months, but there were 4 months that were high. I don't know if they'll come through or not, so I think we should be able to get another 100 or something, but whether we'll get it, and since we got the majority of it, I don't know if it would be, yeah. I estimated the next month it should be about $170 credit, but whether we'll see it or not, I don't know. But we got $341, so that was really good. And I've been doing an inventory. I've been wanting to do that kind of since I started, because when they switched over from, I think they switched to the new software Sierra about a year and a half, maybe 2. Oh, no, because I think it was, the date was 2005 was on it. I started 2007, so 2.5 years before I started. They switched over. Some of the items dropped out of the whole system of books. And, you know, like when we started, we'd find out every once in a while, so they could bring one up to the desk and scan it in and no record found. So then you had to quick put it in so then they can check it out. And we haven't had too much of that now anymore, but still, you know, there's gotta be books on the shelves that aren't in there, that aren't being used, that we should get rid of, you know, to clear our shelves a little bit. So, I'm working through on that, and, it's going pretty good. I don't know if I found 15 items that weren't in there so far, you know. The board books, I don't think had any extra ones, but parenting had a couple, and then, the other ones were in the picture books. So, hopefully I'll get the whole library done with that this year, we'll see.
Would, the varnish that, the coat of varnish that needs to go on that piece of furniture, would Clone Herb do that? Does he do varnish?
Well, I can check with him, or I will check with the young man sitting at the end of the table and see if our industrial arts person possibly would.
Certainly. What type of piece of furniture is it?
It's the desk that's right behind the Circ desk there, and it's
Okay.
the surface because that gets used constantly and it's starting to show wear. There's a restriction as far as I'm concerned, would be that it would have to be done like a Saturday afternoon in order to sit Saturday afternoon, evening, and Sunday to be ready to go into circulation on Monday.
Mm.
So if that's a restriction, I mean, I want that out front right away, because
Because of smell.
there's no way to do it in the evening and then expect to be here by 8 o'clock the next morning and use it, so.
Yeah, I was talking to my husband about it quick, and he said, well, what did they use on it last time? And I said, well, I don't know.
Was that prior to you being here?
Yeah,
It's been a while.
Well, no, it
No.
was only a couple years old, but
Okay.
it was that industrial arts teacher that only stayed for about a year.
Yeah, okay.
He came over, or he had it done in his class, so
All
the
right.
school did the
Sure.
whole thing.
Mhm.
But I don't know what it was, and because he said, well, it was oil-based or butter-based.
Right, that's a good question.
We can definitely somebody that's orchestrates it and when and where, bring it on over, or we can send somebody over to get it, and take care of it.
Yeah, because you can't take it back probably, because it's very.
Yeah,
You
Oh, it needs to be done here.
Yeah.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
somebody has to come over here then.
Yeah,
Yeah,
if you
okay.
look upstairs, it's
When I
a
leave, I'll check it out.
big piece of furniture behind the circ desk. It's
Okay.
very big.
Sure.
And heavy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's why you
Yeah.
said Saturday to Monday, all right, now I
Yeah,
got you.
but the area isn't very big. I mean, I don't think it'd take long. The cleanup
Okay.
would take longer than actually do it probably, but,
Sure,
um,
you bet.
so, and I don't know if there's a more heavy duty thing you can use for those. I don't know.
Just gotta put more coats on.
Oh, okay.
It's hard to tell.
Polyurethane?
Yeah.
I'm almost thinking that's possibly what it was, because it was done in a pretty quick hurry, and
Should it, could it be fitted with a piece of glass, or would that create more havoc? You know, to preserve that finish once it's on?
Well, the edges, you know, we're constantly bumping into
Oh,
the
yeah,
edges
okay.
because it's in a traffic, both of them are, both edges are in traffic areas, so I don't know how much that would be. Okay, the Chamber of Commerce meeting. I went and, they're gonna be having this Aaron Gary coming, I guess he's a pretty bigwig guy, president and CEO of X and Goal. It's something about, additives for dairy cattle or something that you use with your calves. John Young set it up, and then he started thinking about that this is somebody that's used to staying in four-star hotels and and started looking at our community and wanted some help cleaning up, or was hoping people would dress up, or, pull your weeds and, get your place looking as good as you can type thing. Then they started talking about, there's a lot of things going for Weyauwega too and stuff, and I mentioned the book and possibly the Caring Bridge person, that was from Weyauwega, and, was hoping to have him come and stuff, and so I think they were, glad to hear some more positive things.
That other speaker there, Jan, is, for that, remember when Joe Ginther brought that stuff, that juice, mangosteen, that's supposed to keep you young
yes.
longer and revitalize you, and it's some kind of a pyramid thing where you become a dealer and then you can get the stuff cheaper for yourself so you can extend your own life while you're making money selling the stuff to other people. And Joe wasn't selling it. He only had the dealership, wasn't it, so he could get it himself at a lower.
Right.
But he wanted us all, he brought little cups and we all got to take a little of it. It's some magic.
And they're gonna do it at Weyauwega Arts.
That has nothing to do with that though.
Yeah, one of the speakers is.
Yeah, it's Gerald.
How do you pronounce
One is
that?
gonna-
ACAI? That's what it is.
One of them is gonna talk about something you feed to your calves,
Oh, well, I
and one is,
But the other one.
and he told, I think John Young told David, there are gonna be thousands of people coming to
That's what
Weyauwega
the
for
fellow
this
is. Must be a-
program.
Really?
Well, Jan
He's hoping.
Newman is big into that.
Busloads.
And
Well, we
maybe
have
on
plenty of
Main
parties.
Street.
Yeah. Municipal
I
parking.
know there's some sort of sales, pyramid marketing thing. I don't know what it's called.
It's gonna be at the theater, isn't it, at the Gerald?
Yeah.
I have a question on your very last, well, second to last one, because you cut something in. Heat loss versus clean windows. The hedge being in tight would not constitute heat loss, or are you talking the books inside?
No, outside, but usually they plant those bushes next to the building because it saves on the heat. So, even on the north side and east side, that's what I figured they were there
By
for.
the
but-
sill.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
know what.
but the space is like this.
There,
I mean,
yeah,
it's
I've
just
helped wash those windows and it's.
no space at
It's
all.
really hard to get in there.
Yeah, I couldn't believe how close, I never
Yeah.
looked at it, never noticed,
Yeah.
it is really tight in there,
Yeah.
I don't know if we can open it up at least this much, then you get that step stool in, you still have to push it, but it's not quite as bad as,
Well, is that something that your mom wants to do?
Well,
wash the windows outside and,
she has washed them outside before, but though, and she tried those earlier this year, and she just gets really frustrated, cause it's, I've
So-
helped her once too, and it's like, you can't even get in here, they're just so tight up against the building, the shrubs.
Well, personally, I don't know that there would be enough concern about a heat loss versus the windows, so.
No.
To me, you talk to John and just ask him to trim it.
Next
some
time.
first
That's
of all.
what I thought,
Yeah, they're
next
washed
spring.
now
Yeah.
for,
And,
for now,
And, you know, it almost looks like maybe, you know, she cleaned the bottom, because it was only the top part, and I bet it was what she couldn't reach.
Probably, yeah.
And because, but, you know, it looked like maybe some spray had gotten on it, or, you know, because you could see, you know, more, and I thought,
Yeah.
oh, it'd be there a whole year if it doesn't get done now. I mean, you know, so they came and they did it
those
right
had-
away. and I-
Those hedges have not been that height all the time.
It's been
They're-
quite a long time.
It's been now,
Yeah.
because we've had too many ups and downs with who's
Oh,
doing
yeah.
what, but, yeah, just
You can
ask
get
them.
that cut back
Cut
when
it
they
back.
come next year. Okay.
Yeah, and Mark.
Then I've got, and I think I had this last month, but I think I forgot to share it. It's the system plan, and, for the calendar year 2015. I haven't even read it. I copied it in case thought we maybe should have it, but, you know, they're gonna be the same pretty much year to year, except for some few
Are
small
you
changes.
talking owls or are you
Yeah,
talking?
owls.
Okay.
Comments. So, anyway, I have a copy if anybody's interested in that. Let's see now, I don't know if I had more notes on that. Greg had his last day, so he's gone now. And the new guy sent out a email today. Today's his first day alone, and, you know, he's looking forward to meeting all of us and blah, blah, blah. Once I'm back next week, because there's a conference this week, I'd like to arrange a meeting with each one of you. I'd like to come to your library and spend some time getting to know you and your staff. If you'd like, we could also couple it with a library board meeting. So I thought, well, I'll mention it.
anytime.
I would prefer it with the library board meeting if at all possible.
Okay, so
I'd
should I
like to
see
meet
if
him.
he can come to the next board meeting, maybe? Or, I mean,
Well, let's say at his convenience.
Mhm.
okay,
Don't make it
We're eager to
impossible
meet
for
him.
him.
okay.
We never did send Rick a letter of appreciation or anything, did we?
I sent him emails and such, but that.
Is he
I'm just
going
doing-
away?
No,
Or
no, he's
he'll be in the area,
retiring in
so-
the area.
Put something together, maybe a card, maybe, retirement card?
Or wanna Sue Milky's
Oh.
blank ones, you're so good at.
Or I think I have a card that I got when Sharon was leaving, and then somebody else got a card, so
No,
we
so
didn't
we
use
have
my.
one already.
Yeah,
There
so
you go.
then we could,
That'll work.
if I would bring it to the next meeting, then we could all sign it. If it's, I'll look at it, I haven't seen it for a while, so it might not be the most appropriate for the, you know.
Are you finished with yours?
Yeah, except that I was just gonna say, I did mention at the chambers that we're gonna have that Medicare program November 20th, and the adult reading program started, and the preschool is ongoing, and the core curriculum, so they're coming this week. And that's about it there. I think that pretty much does it.
All right, we'll move on to the bills.
And there weren't any to add, I didn't get any, Friday or Saturday, or over the weekend to add to that.
Frank, were we gonna order more tables this year yet?
If that's the pleasure, and I have it on my notes for my part of the meeting,
Okay.
so.
I was going to say, it looks like we've got some money that should be designated for this, that, or whatever.
Well, they're not going to get any cheaper, and they're not going to be free shipping forever.
Well,
That's
there
why
are-
I'd like to have a,
There are areas where.
yes, I'd like to know
Nice, too.
tonight,
There's nice.
because then Edie will be on the computer tomorrow and get them ordered.
Okay. Discuss that when it's your turn, I guess.
Okay, and I think I'm done, so.
Okay. Anybody have any questions on the bills?
Barring any questions, I move to approve the bills as published.
And I will second that.
Okay, no further discussion. Motion is made and seconded to approve the bills and pending items. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, motion carried. Any correspondence?
No, I was gonna mention that email, but I already talked about it. so-
Could I just go back one? I know we got something from Town of Weyauwega.
This
We
one?
got, no, but we did this year, we got,
Oh,
and that, shouldn't that be under, revenue? Any money we get from any government unit, including the Town of Weyauwega, should be listed under revenue.
okay, from Town of Weyauwega. Let me see.
Didn't they send us about $1,000?
Well, I think it was 800, but
Well, it was 800 before, but I think it was more this year than it had been in the past.
I'll have to check into that, because I can't remember, I think
Whatever it was,
They
but I
told
know
us
that
that we.
by law, we have to include that under revenue, because it is a governmental body that gave it to us.
Oh, because I thought we were giving it to Sue, but that wouldn't be anything.
I
Well,
almost thought we had in the past too, but I'm not sure.
Well,
It's a donation.
yeah, it's a donation.
it is,
It's
but
not an
because it
actual
comes from a
donation.
governmental body, a unit of government, it has to be called revenue. And I know we discussed it like last
Yeah,
year.
and
I
I
brought
thought
it up
that's
once
what it
before.
Got it right
Yeah.
here. Got it under donations. $1,000, I bet.
Yep.
That's right there. So it is under revenue.
But it's not designated Town of Weyauwega.
No.
And then it should probably move up, it should probably move up.
Oh, that's our budget thing.
Well,
It was last
does this stuff up here go against our budget and this doesn't necessarily? Isn't the 1,000 like an that's extra? I mean, we don't build that into the budget. I mean, that's like.
Right, because it's not guaranteed.
We were so appreciative.
So then, I don't know, I mean, the way this is set up, it looks like if it went up here, because I'm guessing that this is our budget and this is all.
And
But
here's-
even if it doesn't go up there, I think it has to be, you have to acknowledge that where it came from.
Oh, well, that we can easily do.
But if we have a question about that, I think maybe we should ask the, city administrator.
Yeah. I don't think it should go against our budget though, because like you said, it's
Can't
not a
plan for it.
guarantee.
Mhm.
It should be extra money for us to be able to use, I would think.
And it wasn't established that all of our fine money and copy machine money and all of that can be used any way we want and doesn't go against our budget?
Mhm.
Right.
Yeah, and I think that's where the town, the donation at, is in the.
Right. Yeah, that's where it is, here, but,
Have we ever had that conversation with Patrick?
No.
Not
I don't
really.
think so.
Maybe it would be
I
appropriate
don't
just
think
to
we
have
heard
that
to have
conversation
that.
with him
Just-
in Keisha's
He could,
perspective.
perhaps he could clarify it, once and for all.
it's, I don't know if this is supposed to be totals down here, but it looks like. it should
Oh, it
be-
didn't add in.
No,
Okay,
nothing
I'll,
here either.
okay, I probably didn't, I probably added a line and didn't add it in
Right.
down there.
And you can easily change this, to, I mean, you can put it, who it came from.
Yeah.
You're just leaving it
Well, should
general.
we
And I
ask
think I
Christie to do
do
that?
on the monthly thing,
I think that's a
the
start-
note
it's a
that was
starting
given,
point.
Between the
I
two of
think I
them, and
typed
then
it in, like,
you can
report at the
extension,
next meeting.
town of
Report
Weyauwega
back,
here.
and if we
Right.
need to
But
make
then
an
the-
adjustment, well, then we can
Right.
recognize
Once
it.
that month
Exactly.
is over, then it
The
doesn't
ledger.
show up.
You wanna check that then,
Okay.
for us?
Do you think that should be changed? Because what if we get other donations? Because like, the kid, no, well, you only get that right soon. I don't know.
I think Mary's point is that if it's a governmental body, that
Yes.
it needs to be
And
that was
designated
the-
in
Yeah.
in a different format. If that is,
The other donations can go right into our, that
our
Library
fur-
account,
our furnace
library.
and air conditioning fund.
Library
and
fund.
any- Any problems that we don't have enough money to take care of.
Okay, does it?
And if it's okay, I think this is the proper location for it, just doesn't, just put who it's from, because like I said, I don't think it should go up here.
Yeah, because you can't count on it. You
Right.
can't plan on it.
Right.
So you're, just because it's from a, okay,
Governmental
Yeah, you do
agency.
that.
It should be itemized who it came from, I guess.
okay, so does it need to be itemized where it was received from?
Yep,
Is that,
kind of, and then is it
That's what we wanna
is
know.
it in the right location on there? It
I'm
shouldn't
going
go-
to right account, is that, whether it's
It
going to the
shouldn't,
right account?
yeah, it shouldn't be affecting our budget, I don't think.
I don't think so either.
So is it, with it down here with this money, that seems like where it belongs, but ask him that. You can
Okay.
show him this and ask him if it's in the right spot, once you change it.
If that
I'll put
goes in the
question
budget,
should
we're hurting ourselves because
be-
that's this year and next year, if that starts
You don't
affecting
know.
us, we don't know if they're coming back or not,
Right,
so.
that's why I don't think
Yeah.
it's,
I think
it should be included, cause it's not
the two should
guaranteed.
sit and just
Should be
discuss that, so.
Yep.
I just talked to Mr. Jonley a couple days ago and, thanked him for their support. And he said, well, there had been some discussion about whether, when the new city hall space is, whether the town of Weyauwega would like to ask to have room there
Mhm.
where they could meet. And he said, they really like meeting here.
Oh, really? Oh, good,
Yeah.
because I thought we'd lose him as soon
No,
as that
no.
was open.
He said, and I said, we plan to give him the circ, for his town so that they would know how much their people are using it. But the main reason is because they use it for their meetings,
Mhm.
Mhm.
rather than going to somebody's house,
Right.
They have no other.
Well, that's not legal, is it?
No, it's not.
Well, I don't know, but I heard
As far
that
as
they,
what going
They
to
did,
the
but it is done.
Oh.
As long as
It's,
posted.
so
Yeah.
anyway, yeah, they like meeting here.
Okay,
They
well,
want to
good.
continue meeting here.
And I thanked him Friday night, so.
He's been
He's
thanked.
gotten his thanks.
Oh, and I did want to mention, maybe the couple, we do have a little money that we could spend like for the, now, I just want to draw your attention that mine do not include salaries. So it's kind of deceiving when you look at the budget here, what we've got left, because it's not including any, of the salaries since, I think, May.
Oh,
Because-
something's not
Oh,
working
you-
Because
right.
they're not, I'm not getting
Oh.
a printout.
So you have actually spent more than 41% of your total budget
Yes,
for.
much more.
I
Yes,
see.
right.
I wondered about that,
Yeah.
because we're getting really close to the.
Yeah, and
So
I'm
what day is-
starting to get a little nervous about it. I kept thinking by October I would like to have had it.
Sure.
You know, because this has been going on since May, and I thought, I'm not gonna worry about it now, but pretty soon I've gotta reconcile the two.
Mhm.
And, the sheet printout that we have, there were like half a dozen that didn't match.
we need you to relax, and when you talk
Well,
to Patrick,
but
say, hey,
Yeah.
Yeah,
you
but
know,
he can't
the
do
board is
anything
concerned.
either.
No, he can, but just tell him, because that way, if he says, okay, then we can give you some reprieve, or we can give you a little extension,
Yeah. Well,
he's
this-
gonna have to deal with the
Yeah.
auditors. We're not.
Yeah.
What, you're just, the numbers are all somewhere, you just need the numbers.
She need,
Well, they
Why can't
have
they
two,
give them
they're
to you?
using two different softwares.
Okay.
And so one software has this in, and the other half software, but I don't get a printout of anything. Before I got a monthly printout and I would compare it to mine, and I never did do those, because I figured I don't have to figure out what the salary checks are, I just copied what they paid,
Right.
And retirement, I don't even know what percentage it is, it's too much,
Right.
I'm white to have two people figure out what the insurance and social security is. But I don't get any of that.
So
They
why
don't give it
not?
to me. They said it's not ready, and they don't have it month to month. They gave me a sheet, I hope I have that here. I should, yes, here's one.
so
Okay, this
you could
is-
extrapolate though from what you've got.
Well,
Well,
I'm figuring mine are right, Now, this is what they gave me. This is supposed to be as of October 1st, so that would have had the September salaries on. And they gave me the salaries that have been spent out. But not the month to month, so I kinda hate to add it to mine because I don't have a month to month. I don't know, I could add this
But you
bulk
could at least
figure for
determine what
October.
percent of what we budgeted has been
Yeah.
spent by now.
Yeah, and I did that for when I figured the budget for last year. I used these figures for that.
That's,
But all these ones that are circled are all off from what my books say, and that's, at least half of them. And some of them aren't off by a little bit, some of them are off by more, but sometimes numbers get transposed, sometimes they get added to a different account than what I added it to. I mean, some of them are easy to reconcile, but some of them, I remember going back with Gloria, well, something's wrong here, and we'd have to go dig it out and figure out why it was different. And that was on a month-to-month basis, and when you get behind this many months,
Yeah.
you gotta look through all those months to
Yep.
figure out where the mistake was made.
Yep.
And it takes a lot of time to do it. When it's month-to-month, it's really quick, But when you have to go back and, I know come annual report time, it's just really a pain to not have the right figures,
Aren't they transitioning to one computer system instead of two? That's part of what the problem is, because the new system is supposed to have a lot easier way to take care of things,
And
So-
they're having trouble, they have calls into the system and all the time, and, they've been working on it, but sometimes I know I'll call down there and Trina will be on the phone for hours, and sometimes it's with this, sometimes it's other stuff too, but, so they're working on it, but I don't think there's anything we can do, but, I would really like to get this, real soon, because December is around the corner, and you always have to try to figure out if you have any money to
Yep.
spend at the end of the year, and how much, and I suppose I could try adding this in and put all the wages under October or whatever, in November, lump sum them, just so they're in the computer, I don't know. But it's really
well,
deceiving.
It would give
when you
you
talk to
date
Patrick,
anyway.
maybe he can clarify that
Yeah,
along with that other question.
Yeah, well, I have questioned it.
I'm guessing they're gonna wanna be ready for the January one and have things set for this
Yes, yeah.
next year with.
Yeah.
So I would think they would be real anxious, because
Near
they've
to
got
that.
more to worry about than we do.
Right, right,
So
just having their systems in
So-
check.
that's why I
Maybe
figured I
just
didn't
sharing
have to worry
your
about it.
urgency with them will send a message that, okay,
Yeah.
we wanna,
Ours done too.
right.
Okay,
So was there some correspondence?
The only course that was that email from the director saying he wanted to meet with us. I guess that was probably the only, or whether the board wanted to meet or not with him. Well, now there's this, I printed this out for something. Okay, this is about the core curriculum program. They're coming tomorrow at 9, and it takes about an hour, so they'll pick up at about 10. There'll be a total of 33 students and 2 teachers. And we just so appreciate the fact that you're willing to partner with us in teaching the Common Core. So it's a nice, that was from Pam and.
Pachikowski.
Yes, yes, there's.
How long did it take you to?
A couple days. Miss P.
Yeah, there you go. So, here's another little thing. After talking this over with our principal and the kindergarten teacher here at Fremont, we would love to come to your library for a visit. And then they're talking about the dates and stuff. I love the Fun with Fairy Tales lesson. We are studying that this next week along with the sequencing thing, perfect for the 3 Little Pigs, which is part of what they're doing here. So, anyway, she sounded very kind of enthused and appreciative, and I thought it was very nice on her end what she said, so. And I don't know if that would be counted as correspondence or not, but there, I guess that's pretty much all I have.
All right, we'll move on to committee reports. Building and grounds.
Okay. Same question as before, if anybody knows anyone that could possibly fix that railroad engine, let me know. We have lots of feelers out right now. I'm hoping that somehow, somewhere we can get it done. Right
Does Mike
now,
Johnson do that?
I was going to call him, and that might be one, this may be a little more finesse than what he's used to, but
Okay.
I don't know. The welding he could do, but there's some real small items to take care of on there. Does anybody here want to have one of those two railroad cars before I put a sledgehammer to them and put them in the fireplace, because they're sitting out there and I don't want them over the winter? The new ones are in there if you haven't seen them, so speak up now. If somebody wants birdhouses or something with those two cars, they're in pieces already. Chances are with the train, right now I'm seriously thinking that it'll go up in the spring. It will not go up this fall anymore. First of all, once the snow falls and it gets too cold, and I don't know how long it's gonna take to get this engine. I don't wanna rush it. I'd rather get it fixed. Okay, then the next question is the 4 tables. Yes, no, order more? Stay with them?
Very
This is what we
nice.
have?
That's what we have.
Sears, is that where you ended up
No,
picking them up? No?
directly from the company and
Oh.
shipped here. And
Okay.
all of you will be very surprised. I was. You tell them how they came.
Well, they were waiting for me at 8 o'clock, and there's a great big thing back there, and
Semi?
semi, yep, and they brought it, he said, I knew I was gonna be early, but he had to go to Rice Lake or Eau Claire or something. So anyway, he brought him in with one of those little refrigerator cart things, and then he asked where I wanted. I said, well, can you take him to the basement? And so he took him to the basement, and we're down there, and so he took him all the way to the corner
Wow. Nice.
where it was, and then I says, oh, I got a sign for him. I said, oh, I have to look, they're supposed to examine him, and I said, well, I'll look, and, well, the box doesn't look like it's okay. Well, he said, you wanna open it up? So he opened it up for me. And so I just checked the outside corners. I didn't separate them or anything, but it was really nice, and, he was waiting here, and he had a long day ahead of him. He was really nice.
I wanted her to share that, because when she said that to me, I said, most guys will say, okay, where's the help? Let's get this unloaded, and they're on their way. And
Or
he takes
just
it
dump
all
it
the
by
way
the door.
downstairs.
Yeah,
They
right.
probably had to sign for it,
I
right?
thought, wow,
Yeah, I
yes,
just
she
signed
did.
for it, yeah.
Okay, so go ahead and order 4 more.
I
As far as
move
I know
that
right
we
now-
order 4 more tables if the funds are in the budget.
Okay, then what I will do is check with you to see once you think you know where salary wise in it. If worse comes to worse, I consider my.
I'll second that motion if I can.
Okay. You can-
Before you get going here. Okay, motion made and seconded to buy more tables if there's money in the budget. 4 more tables, right?
Mhm.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
And opposed? Great.
Okay, I'm a little bit off the subject on this next one, but I think it needs to be discussed right now. And I know you have the insurance discussion under 10, but I'm gonna jump into that right now. The city is changing insurance carriers, and the reason for that is there's something came up, I don't know what it is, but the old insurance carrier will not carry it. So I met with Patrick this morning because he wanted to know our treasurer, because they have to have all that for the new insurance, et cetera. And I had mentioned what we discussed here at the meeting, where there was some hesitation for some people to get this background check and everything, and I wondered whether or not we needed to be bonded with the treasurer here, since we have a double check to begin with, and really not that kind of money, because we're not handling money on a daily basis. He will check with the new insurance carrier to be sure. He said, I personally don't think you need to. So I just wanted to make sure you're aware that's out there, and I thought, boy, if we don't have to have it, then hopefully everybody will be willing to take their turn and
Do you know who the new carrier is going to be?
not the foggiest idea, because they're just now carrying it. Which then also brings in that we can probably then dismiss number 10. And the reason for that is with the new insurance, when there is a changeover, they will go and use all the figures from the old insurance. They're gonna work hand in hand. Now, this is Patrick working it out, so he said, then if it is a bigger company, they may have an actuary that they actually say, okay, your building is worth this much, your contents are worth this much, and not have to go through all of that internally. But on the other hand, they may come back and say, okay, but we do want that. Well, if they do, let's just, nothing will happen before January 1. And then Patrick will get in touch with us, let us know just where we're at and what we need to do, if anything, or if they're just gonna carry it. And the reason I saw him this morning, because I got caught off guard a little bit on this one, he wanted to talk to me on the service that the city gives us in terms of the elevator shaft. And I said, explain that one, because I don't understand what you're saying here. How many times do they have to go down in the elevator shaft? And I said, maybe once, twice in 2-3 years, depending on the water conditions, and if we have a flood, it's going to be whenever there's water in there. And he said, well, there is now, the city is getting a independent safety inspection, and that was one of the questions when they heard the elevator here, because that's a closed environment, and that means it has to have certain safety features. And I explained to him, we have a cutout switch, we have a lock that goes on that cutout switch, we have a big iron pole that fits on that. So to me, once the power is off, that elevator should not be moving any place. I think we're covered. He said, okay, so basically once or twice, couple, 3 years. I said, unless there's water, be prepared for that one.
Would that be
So
part of
he's
our annual
aware of it.
inspection of that elevator? Don't they go through the checks of that, or is that more just on the
This is
logistical?
gonna be a much more thorough. I have a feeling something happened. I'm not real sure. I'm reading between the lines. The fact this is an independent state coming in to do this, it's either that or because of the change in the insurance. I don't know.
Yeah, that could very well be.
But I was just surprised with the elevator shaft, because then I also brought up our hole out there, that manhole, and he said, nope, that's already covered with the city, the manhole, because we have manholes all over the city, so that's a whole different, but the elevator shaft is years and years old down there, so.
So then,
But your Otis does inspect it like, what is it, 4 times a year, 5 times
I
a year?
think so.
And they go in, but they don't necessarily walk down in there that I know. They open it up and they look and
Okay.
they check all kinds of stuff. I could ask him too if he goes down in there, if I need to.
Don't.
Okay,
Don't.
okay.
We don't want anybody going down there besides Frank, that's,
Right,
I'm sorry, and her clone.
Yeah. And if they do it routinely. I mean, the Otis people.
Okay.
I'm sure it's a facilities assessment when a new industry or a new agent comes in, they have to know what they're insuring.
Exactly, exactly.
so then we can leave number 10 off the agenda?
I think so, as far as
So
I'm
I don't have
concerned,
to
yes,
put it on
because
anymore?
let's wait now until we hear
Yeah.
from what the
If it's
insurance is
something
going
that
to
they
be.
require, then we'll have to deal with
Then
it.
we'll have to deal with it, if not, then we could take it off the agenda, period, because.
One thing we could do for ourselves, we could have, do we have any pictures of our interior things? Because that helps, the dolls, we could have
Mhm.
pictures of those, put them on
We do have some,
a
but
card
I
and put
definitely
that
want
card
Katie to go
somewhere
more.
off premises. Cause now the way you can save stuff so easy, you put it on a little zip drive or whatever and put it at City Hall, then it's not on our property. Yeah.
And then, just a reminder to you to let me know if you don't receive a bill from John for the lawn service by November's meeting. Because if not, I'm gonna call him and say, thank you for volunteering to do it for free.
This became gratis work.
You bet. He was told point blank, we have that. I was hoping we'd have it for today, but apparently we don't, so the November meeting, I'm not waiting until December. Can't.
And he knows to send it here, not to City Hall.
I hope so. I don't want to bet on that. I
Well, I would think they
Well,
would tell us
last
if
time
they
he
got
sent it to me, which is fine,
Oh.
because I bring it down here.
You want to be, I better just by the next meeting.
I'd like it by the next meeting so that we know where we're at financially, because
You have 1
Well,
month.
and maybe if
cancel
you
months.
call,
But if you want me to, I can.
And when you call,
You
give
shouldn't
them our
have to
mailing
beg
address.
people for a
No.
you
bill.
know what?
Our mailing
I don't
address.
want the call to be made, I'm sorry.
Okay.
I'll accept it gratis. if that's what it's going to be.
Well,
That
it's
was
his
that's
choice.
what
When
you
you
told
hired
him
him,
when you
that was-
discussed
that
it.
was
Exactly.
part of the
I
deal.
said, we have to, you can't do that to us where we're 2-3 years behind. We don't have that in the budget, and we can't
Right.
retro pay.
Right.
So he said, okay, I understand. If you don't get it, you don't owe me.
All right,
So to me, I think we have an understanding.
Okay, so if I don't have it by November 15th, I'm gonna shoot you an email saying that we didn't get anything yet.
Yep. And I'll thank
That's
him.
okay.
Okay, we need to move on to finance, with the budget.
Finance Committee met on October 3rd. Sandy, Scott, Christie, and I, and Patrick was at our entire meeting. He was most helpful. He said that Christie's health insurance probably would go up $4,000 at least, but worst case scenario would be that it would be around 19, the total.
But they didn't know yet.
But they didn't know yet, they
Pricing
were
out.
switching or shopping around for insurance, so we still, I'm sure, don't know.
Yeah, I was off Friday, it was sent for Friday, but there was some kind of a health insurance application thing I had to fill out. It said needed by today, so I did that today. But, it's part of the process of looking, I think.
Does that sound
And-
familiar?
Actually, looking for your experience rating and whatnot, so they can
Yeah.
align the price to that.
Yeah,
It should
right.
go up about 4%, and then you finally get the bill at 14%, and you say, gee, where did this extra 10% come from?
And he said the city probably would have a 3% increase in wages, so Christie has the budget figured with that amount.
So,
And
2 or 2.5, and you use 2.5?
Actually, no, that was outdated.
Oh, okay.
Because I used 3, that's what I heard later on, so then I changed it also, that last
Okay.
in the report is 3% that was used.
So does this budget
That reflects the three.
reflect the 3%?
Yes,
Yes.
Okay.
yes.
so I think you can see on, do they all have?
Yes, all,
Did you
the
read it
same
separately?
thing that you got
Okay,
at the
okay.
committee meetings, the
Okay,
exact
you can
same
see
thing.
where the,
Increases for, increases.
and, Patrick seemed optimistic that the board, or I mean, the city council would approve.
Other thing, 4 of our computers are gonna be going off warranty next year, and we can't renew it, because once it gets so old, they won't take a warranty on it anymore. So 4 of them are going off, but I figure we try to do 2 next year, and 2 the following year, like 2 late in the year, and then 2 early in the year. So we'd spread those 4 out in 2 years instead of 1, unless we, happen to have the money, but that's what I kind of budgeted, thinking that.
When will the council approve tonight?
That's what I heard is tonight, so.
October 21st.
If
And
anybody wants to know, call me.
We've approved this already, our board?
We
No,
need
no,
to,
no.
we
We
need,
have
it's
not.
our
Okay.
recommendation
Yep.
as the
Okay.
finance committee.
Okay, that's what I thought.
I thank the people that worked on it, and I move to approve the proposed budget for the 2014 year.
Any motion?
You
I
have a
did.
second on there?
I'll second.
And he was
Okay.
telling how they do it, they usually, like, the exact same way I did it. I had the budget today, that's the end of August, and that's 2/3 of the year, so I figured out what the other third would be to estimate what we'll use this year and whether it go up or down next year, so that's what I did it the way he was talking about doing it. And, I did try to keep it very conservative because of those computers, so,
Well, and
anyway,
actually, they just need the bottom line, right?
more or less. But he took a full copy of this, and I said, well, we usually just try to give this to the council because it gets too confusing, and
Right.
some try to say
Yeah, I
what we
think
should
that's
spend
wonderful.
there, but, so, it sounded like that's kind of what he was gonna do, or he wasn't gonna show anybody, but he got a copy of exactly
Yes.
what you got.
And that's important too. so
Yeah,
He knows
Right.
where we're going.
He was most helpful
Good.
and generous with his time. He answered any questions we had, explained things.
All right. If there's no further discussion, motion is made and seconded to approve the budget as proposed. All in favor?
Aye.
Right.
Opposed, same sign? All right.
And just the comment that carries with this, I wanna thank each and every one of you for letting the city council be here. The best thing that we've got going for us as far as I'm concerned, because this is in part why we're getting what we're getting. I've listened to other libraries that are starting to get cut, are starting to get held back at zero. You know, not that we have a major increase, but we do have an increase, and at this point, I personally think it should go through tonight. If tonight is the night, but I will be
Yeah,
there and
if
I'll
it
be happy to.
didn't, we could do it a little less, I mean,
And he did say if we, because we don't know what to put down for health insurance, that he said if it ends up being a lot more, he said that he felt that the city would be able to kick in to cover some of that. So, I thought that was pretty good.
sounds good.
Okay.
Because it's hard to budget for,
Well,
when you
sure.
don't have a clue what
Right.
it's gonna be, so.
All right. You don't have any old business, so we scratch that. Do we have any new business?
I move we adjourn.
Yep, I'll take a motion to adjourn.
I will second that.
All right. Motion made and seconded to adjourn at 5:03 PM. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
What time was it?
5:03.
Sometime in my minutes I'll